Alright. Hello everyone and welcome to Liberty After Work. My name is Art and tonight I don't even know what we're gonna play tonight, but this is a game that I apparently had in my library collection of all the games for almost 2 years. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and play it. I mean, it didn't take all too long to install and well, I haven't streamed for almost yeah, it is actually 2 weeks now. So yeah, I haven't streamed anything for 2 weeks. So I just decided to go on ahead and start with something, I guess, strange. Well, I just want to play a game that was actually completely unexplored to me. Well, by me, I guess. But yeah, let's just get started. I've got no idea what this game is all about, so I guess we're just gonna find out. Alright, here we go. So there is no main menu, there is no options, I cannot change anything whatsoever about it. It's just start and that's it. That already on its own says quite a lot about the game, but it's one of those interactive, live action games. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Truth!
Welcome to Truth, the game show where we award a $1 million prize to the contestant chosen by our audience. We have 6 challengers hooked up to lie detectors, which I'll be monitoring.
Are you
In
one of
every
them?
round, we ask each of them 5 questions chosen by our audience. Then we vote one off based on their answers. Let's meet our contestants. Why don't you each tell me a little about yourself?
Say
I'm
every time you
Joe.
get a trophy.
I'm 28, and I'm from Philly. Let's go Eagles.
Billy! My trophy is
My name is
currently
Alexis, and I'm
disabled
born and
during
raised
the
in
live
Beverly
stream.
Hills.
My name is Sam. Hello. And I recently moved out here to Hollywood to get in the film industry. And I've been writing a long time before I even got to town. And I've got a lot of scripts. I'm
What does he
willing
have
to
on his
show them.
fingers?
Hit me up. And I'm very
Is like
excited
something
to be on
like
the
a
show.
protector? Was he cooking a meal before that?
I'm Autumn. I'm a California native, and I grew up right here in Los Angeles.
Movie game again? Yeah, I guess.
Hi, I'm Claire. I've never been on TV before.
Claire? Is it
I'm
pronounced
so
Claire?
excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, she's nervous as hell.
I go by Lilith, and I'm from Van Nuys, California.
What the hell are those
Let's
contestants?
see what the audience wants to ask first.
Oh, well, there you go. We could just got the silver trophy. Not sure what. Is it time-based? I don't know. What would you do with the money? What's your most embarrassing memory? What's your most controversial or unpopular opinion? What's your biggest regret? What's the dumbest thing you ever did? What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure? What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend? That's a good one. What's your favorite holiday? Ask the trolley problem. Not sure what that is. Have you ever cheated on anyone? Oh, there's a lot of questions actually. And we can actually go ahead and choose which contestant we want to, which contestant we want to ask what questions. What's the most serious law you've ever broken? That's a good one. I'm gonna go with that. What's your most unusual talent? Describe a typical day in your life. What's your most unusual pet peeve? The hell is that? What's your happiest memory? I got good answers. I'm pretty sure that... Hey, did you actually change your name, Zakaria? I just realized that. My apologies. Is that like your new username for the on Twitch for Skater XL? Well, I guess I'm gonna be including you. I'm gonna be asking you a lot of questions. What's your happiest memory? Hold on. We got six contestants. What's your happiest memory?
What is your happiest memory?
When I was in the 4th grade, our teacher had a seizure and died. We got to go home early.
Okay,
It was a
understandable,
double win.
understandable. Double win. I just had to. Oh my god, I'm joining a bit too much. Okay, so I guess we gotta ask all those questions. If you won the wallet, would you return it? Let's see. Let's ask Joe about this. Joe looks like one of those fake Italian crooks. He's probably gonna keep it. Now we gotta watch his face, his eyes, his expression to know if he's lying or not.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I broke so many school records when I played high school football that I couldn't even name them all. I knew I wasn't good enough to go pro, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of those records still stand today.
Okay, I just realized two things. The question that we just asked was absolutely not the right one. Yeah, that was definitely a lie. And the two things that they have on their fingers, on their hands, that's basically from the lie detector to detect their pulse. Okay. What were you like as a child? I bet one of the trophies is like to ask all the questions. What do you do for a living? Oh, who do we ask that? Okay, that's a good one. Just need to ask, because I'm just curious. What does she do for a living?
What do you do for a living?
I have a small stand in Hollywood where I
Of course.
read people's fortunes from tarot cards.
Yeah, nothing.
Now,
Like Zakaria said, basically
tarot
nothing.
cards don't actually predict the future. But most people don't know
God
that.
damn Zakaria. That is
Most
not appropriate.
fortune tellers will also keep their predictions vague so they can't get caught when they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I tell all of my customers that they're going to die in a horrific car crash about 2 years out from the day they come see me.
Great.
I love seeing their reactions. Plus, the really stupid ones pay for longer sessions so they can ask me a bunch of follow-up questions.
Right. If you could have any job, what would it be? What's your childhood dream? Hold on. Let's ask this guy. Wait, did it? Hold on, some of the questions just jumped. What's your childhood dream?
What was your childhood dream?
You know, my childhood dream was always to be the first or youngest person to accomplish something. Like, I would have loved to have been the youngest person ever to graduate from MIT, or
He's lying.
youngest person ever to travel to space. But as
That's
you
not
grow
really a
old,
childhood
it
dream.
you start to lose that dream, because when you're 9 years old and you publish an article in a physics journal, that's amazing. When you're 35 years old and you do it, you're just a nerd.
Okay, that was a waste of a question. What's your biggest fear? Let's ask her something. What's your biggest fear? Hold on. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose? Wait, why is it red? I can't ask those questions? Okay, so those are the questions that I already asked. Okay, gotcha.
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Superpower by the
Necromancy.
Of course, who would have guessed it?
Anyone can take a living person, turn them into a dead one. To take a dead one.
Why was even
turn them
I
back into a
expecting
living
anything
one.
else?
That would really be something. Just imagine. You really hated somebody.
Live forever, yeah.
You could kill them. Bring them back.
Kill them again.
Kill them again.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
Kill them again.
Kill them again. And then
And
they'd have
so
to
on
live
and
with
so
the
on.
anticipation. Knowing that eventually you're going to find them. They just don't know when. They don't know how.
I don't know
Plus,
who that lady is, but
having
she's
your
playing
own
actually
legion
very
of the
good.
undead would be pretty useful.
I mean, so far I'd say she's telling the truth because, well, she can actually hide her facial expression pretty well. Alright, let's ask somebody else. Oh, this pretty lady, how about that? Let's see, what kind of questions haven't we had yet? How about the same question? If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Chlorokinesis.
What?
It's the power Swamp Thing has that lets him be one with plant life. I'd love to be able to communicate with nature on its own level. Plus, if I had a power like that, I'd really be able to help save the planet.
Okay. What's your biggest fear? Let's ask this lady.
What is your biggest fear?
Getting a pimple. I've known
Oh,
people
she's
who
one
have
of
had
those.
one and they say it's awful. That's why I do a strict regimen of cleansing, toning, and moisturizing to make sure I don't get one. I heard it can happen to anyone.
Goddamn, yeah. Can we just vote her out already? What do you do for a living? Probably something in either fashion, right? Or like hairdressing maybe, or perhaps something with makeup. It's one of those three things. Place your bets, people.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an Instagram model.
Oh,
I still
goddamn.
live with my parents, but I can move out if I wanted to. Our house is so big that I feel like it would be a waste to move out. We have so many empty rooms, I'm not even sure if I've seen them all.
I kind of was watching her facial expression a bit too much. Well, at some point her eyes were, well, looking all the way to the right, which means that she's not lying. Instagram for a living, yeah, and I'm a billionaire in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's what it is, pretty much. What were you? Hold on. If you found a wallet, what would you return it?
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
I mean, if there was cash in the wallet, I'd keep that. You know, finders keepers.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah, I'd return the wallet. I've actually heard if you put a rubber band around the
Put
wallet
the
and drop it
price
in the
in the
mailbox,
bag.
the post office will return it. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, that's what I do.
Nah, he's lying. He's gonna keep all of it. What's your happiest memory? Describe a typical day in your life.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I wake up. I eat
Good.
breakfast. I feed my familiars. I go to work. When I get home, I like
Oh, we need to ask
relax,
what work she does.
work on my bug collection.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Bug collection. She actually has a huge beetle on her, like a necklace. I was about to say on her neck. Where is it? Where's the question? What's your favorite holiday? What are the chances that she's gonna go ahead and say that it is Halloween?
And what is your favorite holiday?
I think it's a tie
If she's gonna say Christmas, I'm gonna just
between
delete this
Memorial
game.
Day. There's more murders in the U.S. on Memorial Day than any other day of the year. And All Hallows Eve,
Of course.
when the boundaries between the land of the living and the land of the dead are the thinnest.
What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend? Wait, we cannot ask any more questions? Oh, so it's only 5 questions per person, alright. Yeah, let's ask this innocent lady over here that loves nature so much. What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I gave a lot of.
She's
my friends
glancing to the
cocoa.
left.
In fairness, some of
So
them
she's
probably
lying.
had it already. We're all very open about our sexuality. That's just the type of people I vibe with.
What? Okay. What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
Walking naked through the woods. I'm much more comfortable around trees and flowers than I am around people.
Okay, so she's nuts. Moving on to the other one. What's the dumbest thing you ever did? We just need to ask this one. What's her name again? Alex or something? What's the dumbest thing you ever did?
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
Create an Instagram account.
I once bought this outfit and I posted on Instagram #new outfit. What I didn't realize is that I posted in the same exact outfit that I bought a few months earlier. People thought I was
Okay,
lying.
now we know that she doesn't have
but
a
I just
brain.
forgot that I bought the same outfit. People still bring it up in the comments to this
She's got a
day.
lot. She just basically doesn't even know where to begin. Oh, what's your biggest regret? Well, that's pretty much what she just said. What would you do with the money? Well, we already know. She's gonna buy something and post it on Instagram. Let's ask this guy. What would you do with the money?
What would you do with the money?
Well, I've been working on a film for several years. It's kind of like my main baby when it comes to screenwriting, but I haven't had the capital to produce it. It's a superhero film, but get this. In most superhero movies, someone gets powers. They either
Give it to
become
Zakaria,
the
yeah.
good guy or the bad guy. What if they just still remain a guy and they don't use the powers? Maybe they're like, they try him out, but then they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to my regular life. And it's a superhero film that turns into just a slice of life normal guy film because he doesn't use them. And then at the end, when you think he's like, oh, he's about to save the day,
Yeah, he doesn't.
the powers get reversed and he loses them.
Oh, okay. That's actually interesting. I mean, honestly, so far out of all the 6 candidates, this is the most, like, down-to-earth one. Let's see. We actually haven't asked this lady over here anything yet. Let's see, what kind of questions do we still have left? What's the most serious law you ever broken? This better be
What's
good.
the most serious law you've ever broken?
International piracy law. When
Explain.
I thought all was lost, but a pirate ship came by and actually rescued me. Now, you've heard bad things about pirates, and so had I, but they could not have been nicer. They gave me a job to do on ships so that I could earn my keep when I was there, and everything was going great until they got superstitious. They are superstitious, so they thought for some reason it might be bad luck that I was on board with them. So they were just about to drop me off when we got raided by a Russian Navy ship who put us all in a Russian jail for 5 years for piracy.
Great. Sounds like a lie. Yeah, definitely. I mean, why is the Korean not a candidate? I would definitely given him the million. Let's see. What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
Well, that would be my friend Emily from high school. We were paired together for a science project, and she looked after this egg that we were given for the first week, and I was to look after it for the second week. And I did it great. The egg was perfect, and I was carrying it into school on the last day of the project to give to Emily to hand to the teacher. I got chased by a coyote, and of course I dropped the egg, and then the coyote ate the egg, and I just thought, I can't let Emily down. Like, I don't want to betray my friend and disappoint her. And I remembered, though, that I had seen a bird's nest on the way to school a few days before, so I went back. And sure enough, there's an egg in the bird's nest. It was maybe like a slightly bluer shade of grey than the egg we'd be given, but I thought, nobody's going to notice. So I took it into school, handed it to Emily. She was just about to give it to the teacher, and a red-tailed hawk flew in the window and violently attacked Emily for touching the baby's egg. And
Yeah,
so
no.
not
Chances
only
of this
did we not
happening
get an
is
A, Emily
close
was
to
in
none.
intensive care for 3 weeks, and things were never the same with us again.
She's just making stuff up as she goes. What's your most controversial or unpopular opinion? Oh, hold on. We need to ask her this.
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Okay. There's
This is
this
very
James
good.
Bond movie called The World Is Not Enough, where Denise Richards plays a physicist.
Right.
Everyone was making fun of it, saying that she did a terrible job and that it was sexist of them to cast her.
What?
Here's the thing. She did fine. If she was more plain looking, I guarantee nobody would have said anything. The people who are saying that it was sexist are the sexist ones. They don't believe that a woman can be hot and smart enough to be a scientist. And that's the most sexist thing you can do.
Sure. Oh, she's so proud of herself. Let's see. Describe a typical day in your life. We need to know. We need to know.
Describe a typical day in your life.
My
Oh, it's
days
not
are
really a-
really busy. My trainer wakes me up at 8, then I hit the gym for 2 hours. I head downstairs to get breakfast. Then I take a shower, get my hair and makeup done. Then I get dressed. And I take my first selfie of the day. And I talk to my agent, and she tells me what photo shoots I have or other obligations. On the rare days that I'm not that busy, I get to come on things like this show.
Great. That's it. That's all the 5 questions. Well, we should have asked this one. What's your proudest accomplishment? Well, how about this one?
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I organized a demonstration to save a park, and it worked. They were going to level the place and build a distribution center. We had people protesting at the site for 3 weeks straight and got over 1,000 names on the petition. They ended up building the distribution center on the site of a nearby abandoned mall instead, so we didn't lose any jobs or anything. It was a complete win.
I actually would agree. That's great. There should be more parks, to be honest. Parks are great, especially in the middle of city. Or like, build a city in the middle of a park if it's like a very huge park. Or like, build a park all around the city. That would be great. Alright, let's see. What do you do for a living? She's probably like some sort of a nature activist or something, right? So, that would be just a waste of a question. Who would you want to be stranded on an island with? If you could have any job, what would it be? Yeah, how about the island? Let's ask her that.
If you were going to be stranded on an island with one person of your choosing, who would it be?
I know the standard answer is to name someone really hot who you want to sleep with, but that's actually pretty cruel. You're basically condemning the person you pick to be stranded on a deserted island. That's a pretty awful thing to do to someone.
Well, let's say there's like an airplane crash.
On the island by myself.
The guy's like, what the hell?
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
This is embarrassing. Forgot I was hooked up to a lie detector. I'd pick Chris Hemsworth. Sorry, Chris.
Hey, there we go. Well, picture it like this. There is a plane crash, everybody dies except for you two. How about that? So it's not really like you're forcing him to be there. But yeah, so far interesting. We get to choose one more question, I guess? No more questions for her. If you could have any job, what would it be?
If you could have any job, what would it be?
Any job in the whole world? I would choose to be a wealthy banker because they get paid a fortune and their hours don't seem bad at all. I mean, maybe when the line gets really long up to their till, that might get stressful managing that, but apart from that, I mean, what's the downside?
She doesn't has any clue. Oh boy. What's your proudest accomplishment?
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I was a world record holder.
So it's not an accomplishment anymore.
I was the last known person to contract smallpox.
Oh, great.
For a week. Somebody else did get it after me. I don't know their name. I mean, I don't really remember
Who's
the
even
week because
keeping
I did
track
have
of
a
that?
terrible fever and a really itchy rash, but they say everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame, and that was mine.
What the hell was that? Oh my god. This is probably the most uninteresting lady that I've ever seen. Oh, what do you do for a living? Why not? Let's go for
What
it.
do you do for a living?
Well, I sold furniture for a while. Then I ran out of furniture.
Wait,
Then I sold shoes for a while.
so she was just basically selling
Yeah,
her
that's
own
a similar
furniture. I
problem.
thought she was working in a
Now
store.
I'm unemployed.
She's unemployed. Great. Uh, who even allowed her to be on the show? Okay, so that's 5, 5, 5. Oh, this guy. If you could have any job, what would it be? Zakaria, if you're still watching, if you could have any job, what would it be?
If you could have any job, what would it be?
Sports commentator. I'm pretty sure you can only do that if you're like an ex-athlete, but if I could somehow get that job, I'd love it.
Alright, solid. Solid review. A YouTuber. Hey, look at that. Then you're doing your dream job. Then this guy, what should we ask him? What do you do for a living? He did mention something about a movie, so maybe he's like into movies, like he's a producer of sorts? What's your most proudest accomplishment about that?
What is your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment was getting a perfect score on my SATs in the 8th grade. So I got a 1600. It did take me 3 tries. Almost had it on the 2nd try, but took it again. And I guess you could say 3rd time's the charm.
Huh, alright. So he did actually outstandingly good at school in 8th grade. Alright. Vitali's in jail now. YouTube career is over. Really? Vitali, the Russian guy, he's in jail? What for? When? When did that happen? For how long is he in jail? I haven't watched the guy in, haven't watched his videos in like a couple of years now. What's your most unusual talent? Oh, hold on, this one. What's the most serious law you ever broken?
What's the most serious law you've ever broken?
I would say the most serious law I've ever broken is
15 years?
a movie.
Google it, alright.
So, in 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens was coming out, and there was an advanced sneak preview screening beforehand. And it was invite only.
Right.
So I figured out a way around that since I wasn't invited, but I did want to see it. I'm not going to tell you what theater it was or what theater chain because I do not want to get a phone call from their attorneys. But the night before this advanced screening, I went to a movie at that theater, and then I stayed in the theater all night long. I hid in the bathroom, slept there, and then the next day, I was in the theater for the screening. And there were a couple of seats open. It wasn't completely full. So I got into the sneak preview. I saw The Force Awakens early. I'm not proud of it. It's probably a big felony, but I would do it again.
Damn right. Damn right. I mean, some people would say that is crazy, but I would just call that dedication. I mean, hid in the bathroom, stayed there overnight. I mean, that must have been very boring, especially if you got nothing to do. But I mean, if that is really something that interests you, like to watch a movie early, that's probably like one of those memories that will stay with them forever. And know that it wasn't a lie. So yeah, that's dedication. I have respect for that. I mean, I would probably do the same. For example, if it was like Grand Theft Auto 6 release or something, or any other game that I would be looking out for, then yeah, I'd probably do the same. I mean, we pretty much did that to get the game on the release date. There was like midnight releases, well, many years ago, and yeah, totally worth it. As the trolley problem. What is that?
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people on the tracks ahead of you who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track where there is only one person on it. If you change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the person on the alternate track will be run over and
Yeah,
die.
I've seen that online.
Do you change tracks?
So 5 kills or
This is
1
just
kill?
basic logic. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. So I would change tracks to kill 1 instead of 5.
Well, that is of course very debatable, because, well, let me of course know what you guys would do. Would you change your tracks? Would you go for the 5 kills or for the 1 kill? I mean, it does not specify if it's like 5 most important people in the world, or they're nobodies, and then there's like one very important person on the other track. So you could potentially kill one that is just very important, or like basically 5 people that are, well, not contributing to society whatsoever. But you could kill potentially like a genius among them that will invent something that will definitely help the, well, general population, or like everyone else, like later on down the years. Alright, so that's all 5 questions. Okay. This one. What's the worst... No, wait. What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend? 5 ninjas and a... Don't change?
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
Oh man, dude. For years,
Oh,
my friend
nervous
John
laugh.
used to sell my friend Keith weed, but it wasn't weed, it was kale. Like, he would sell him
Kale?
kale instead of weed. And yeah, Keith didn't know. Like, for years, I was watching Keith, like, pack bongs with kale, and that wasn't working. So then he would, like, make kale brownies, and he had no idea. And yeah, I should have told him, but it was just too funny.
That's a good one. Okay, we got one more question. One more, and then we're gonna see what will happen. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we asked all 5 questions to all the 6 candidates. What's the dumbest thing you ever did?
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
Yeah, so I was the toughest kid in my high school, right? Everybody knew that about me. There was this guy, though. He was 6'8", freakishly tall, big guy. Everyone was like,
6'8"?
"Oh,
Damn,
he's
that's very
tough."
tall.
Like, oh, he could take you. I hated that. What, you're tall, so that gives you grit? Bullshit. So, plus the guy, he was in honors classes. He must have been a nerd. No way he could take me. One day, it got to me. I called him out in the hallway. I egged him on. He didn't want to fight. I said, let's go. Not only did he beat my ass, but he beat it so badly. It was just... I was bruising for days, man. Best part is, though, we became best friends, and yeah, the rest is history. I
Oh,
don't know,
that's
I picked
great.
a fight with a giant, got my ass beat. That was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, never underestimate anyone.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Rebecca Cartwright. Have you been injured in an automobile accident or hurt on the job? Has
Maybe.
your case already been settled and you've been awarded a large sum of money? Call Rebecca Cartwright, 555-1258. Rebecca is 25, single, and looking for a long-lasting
Yeah,
relationship.
guys, if you're
Must
looking
love
for Rebecca,
dogs.
just hit her up.
Now it's time for the
You must love
audience
dogs,
to
by the
vote.
way.
Please enter the selection of the contestants.
That's the most
you think should be going
random
home.
sponsor. Who would we send home? Joe? Alexis? Sam? Autumn? Well, she said her name was Clear, but it honestly says Claire. Or Lilith. uh, Alexis by far was, I think, to me the most cringiest one. Claire is like the most useless one. Joe was alright, he's like a chill guy. Sam was alright as well, he's very passionate about whatever he's doing, we still yet need to find out. Keep the gothic, yeah, I was about to say. Autumn is alright as well. I mean, it's either Clear or Alexis. My vote goes to Alexis. So who would we kick? Who are we going to send home? Kick Joe. Joe? Alright. Sorry, Joe, Zachary voted. I guess we're gonna send Joe home. So what Joe should learn from this, or from this episode, is that you should never mess around with friends and his green grass, because, well, if you're gonna mess around with the green grass, then Zachariah's gonna send you home. But wait, hold on. Zachariah says hot Instagram model. Yeah, we're gonna send her home. Enough of your cringiness.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home
Not Alexis? God damn it, Zachariah.
That's okay. This was fun. And isn't that the point of a game show?
No, she's pissed.
Okay, let's get started with round 2.
Better call
Audience,
Rebecca.
choose your first question.
Okay, so we got 5 candidates left. 5 questions, 5 candidates. Wait, you said kick Joe, then you said no, the hot Instagram model, then not Alexis. Zachariah, just make up your mind. I mean, I was going to kick her either way. This better be good. I think she's gonna go for the 5 kill.
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people on the tracks ahead of you who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue
She's
forward,
gonna probably say something crazy like she would run over the 5, then turn around and then just go for the other kill as well.
But you can change to an alternate track where there is only one person on it. If you decide to change tracks, all 5 people on the original track will live, but the person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
She's like, how do I kill all 6 of them?
So if I stay on the first track, I get to kill 5 people.
Yeah.
Without the possibility of getting in any trouble whatsoever. But if I change tracks, I only get to kill 1, and there's a possibility that I go to prison.
Why?
Why would I possibly change tracks?
Oh, because she made the
Is this a trick
decisions to
question?
change.
Is there a way to kill all 6?
Yeah, I knew it.
If there is, I don't see it. I'd stay on the first track and settle for 5.
I do like the way that she thinks. Like, she really wants to go for all 6 of them because, well, she knows if there's no 6 people alive, then there will be no witnesses. So she needs to get all 6, right? Okay. So we got the same questions, I think. What would you do with the money? Oh, that's a good one. Color of the guy is what? Which one, Joe or this one? What do you mean the color of the guy? Okay, yeah. What would you do with the money?
What would you do with the money?
I'd start my own cult. Dedicated to summoning Cthulhu and bringing about the end of days.
Cthulhu? Well, that's a short answer, but I like it. I like it. She would start her own cult. That's pretty much what I would expect her to say. What's the most serious law you've ever broken? Oh, we need to know.
What's the most serious law you have ever broken?
See, the problem with that question is that You need to be caught.
Oh, that's smart.
Tried and convicted. For you to be breaking the law.
I guess the
Now
question
say I
would
shoot
be...
someone. Was it self-defense?
Good.
Was it manslaughter? Was it murder? Until it gets in front of a jury, we just don't know. And I'm not dumb enough to get caught and have to be put in front of a jury.
I like her. I like her quite a lot, actually. I mean, that just basically says that she already shot someone. But she probably shot someone dead. And yeah, so she's right. There is a problem with this question because we don't know if it would be like counted as for manslaughter or would it be in self-defense. So what kind of crime is it? So in order for that to know, you actually need to be caught and then trialed for that, and then you'll know exactly what crime it is. But I guess she's right in sense of that there's a problem with the question, and the question should actually be, what is the crime that you are aware of? Like, what's the most serious crime that you're aware of doing? Like shooting someone, for example, is a crime, of course. Well, of course, yeah, like she said, if it's in self-defense, is it really a crime then? I don't know. But yeah, let's just move on. Let's ask this lady over here, which I don't know the name of. Because from the first second that she opened her mouth, I completely lost interest in asking her any questions whatsoever. Let's see, what's your biggest regret?
What's your biggest regret?
Well, that's easy. That would be the fishing trip I took my daughter Mallory on 20 years ago. Well, obviously I couldn't afford a boat. So we borrowed 2 floating pool chairs and off we went out into the ocean.
Wait, what?
It was a beautiful day. Unfortunately, I got caught in an undercurrent and I was swept off to a desert island. I saw she made it back to shore.
She's the smartest one.
It took me so long to get off the desert island that by the time I got home, she'd moved on, and I've not been able to find her since.
She's like, screw you and this trip, I'm going home. She just left her mom out there. Wait, that wasn't a lie? The lie detector didn't go off? Wow. How on earth did you even pedal into like on a pool chair? What? How's that even possible? And worst of all, she even took her daughter to that, and the others are like, nope, I'm out of here, you can just do this whole thing on your own. Oh, this lady over here, she's a piece of work. Oh, we gotta ask her that, the trolley problem.
You're the conductor. On a runaway trolley, there are 5 people on the tracks ahead of you who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5.
She's probably
of
gonna
them.
say something very
You
stupid.
cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track which only has 1 person on it. If you decide to change tracks, all 5 people on the first track will live, but the person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
Before answering that, what you have to understand is that being run over by a trolley doesn't have to be fatal. I've survived it
How?
at least twice now, and after an extended hospital stay,
What?
I was completely fine. You just have to avoid being crushed by the wheels when you're underneath. So, in answer to your question, your morality question, of course you switch to where the one person is because there's just not room under there for a crowd.
I just lost 20 IQ points by just listening to this lady. How? What? She survived twice? How the hell? Okay, I just don't know. Here's a very difficult question for her. What's your favorite holiday?
What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, well, that's easy. It's Thanksgiving. Ah, you know, when you're homeless like I am, it's really hard to find places to sleep.
Oh, she's
On
homeless.
Thanksgiving, I can sleep in front of any storefront, entrance, window, and everyone just thinks I'm queuing for the Black Friday sales, and I get left alone. It's pure bliss and just warms my heart every Thanksgiving.
Okay, I suggest we're gonna vote her out next. What's your most unusual talent? This better be good.
What is your most unusual talent?
For her, in her case, it will be just being stupid.
My most unusual talent. Because, I mean, I've got quite a few talents, but... You know, it's funny, because some people think that it's unusual that I can digest grass. Now, I couldn't always digest grass. Humans are not known for their ability to digest grass, but if you really persevere after the first, 40 to 50 upset stomachs, your
I'm
body
sorry, I'm
does
sorry.
change, and it can do it and adapt. And I mean, I don't recommend it if you've got any kind of, IBS or anything, but other than that, it totally works for me, saves me a fortune.
Saves her a fortune. Have you ever cheated on anyone? Why not?
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Just gonna go with this
Certainly
question.
not. I have
That's
been
a lie.
ever faithful to my one true love, my husband,
And that's why you're
who
homeless
I've
now.
not seen since the fishing trip, but
Oh, so he drowned as
he's my
well.
one and
Oh, that wasn't a lie? Okay. So he did drown. Or better yet, he just let her go, and then the daughter and the husband just went far, far away. There is something to this thing that she doesn't tell us, and I just need to know what it is, but just something just doesn't add up to her story. I just can't exactly, fabricate, this whole story of what kind of person she is and what's her story is, but oh, it's a crazy one. Uh, let's see. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all 5 questions. We're gonna save the best for last. Oh, this guy. We're gonna ask everyone the trolley problem. How about that?
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people ahead of you on the tracks who cannot get off the
I'm
tracks
having way
in
much
time.
fun with this game
If
than
you
I thought it would
continue
be.
forward, you will run over and kill all 5. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track where there is only one person on it. If you decide to change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the one person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
Well, do you?
Wait, I'm a trolley conductor for a
Yeah.
living? How did I end up doing that to make ends meet? I mean, geez, forget the people on the tracks. If I ever sank so low I'm driving a trolley, I'd probably jump in front of it just to end my miserable life. Jeez. No thanks.
So that's 5. Well, actually 6. Because he's gonna throw himself in front of the trolley and then he's gonna stay on the same track. Alright. Well, that was a waste of a question. What's your biggest regret? Being
What
a
is your
trolley
biggest
conductor.
regret?
Marrying my high school sweetheart. My ex-wife.
Oh.
Ex-wife. No more. No thank you. Yeah, we were miserable. And now I pay alimony every month.
Great. What would you do with the money? That's a good question.
What would you do with the money?
Well, my ex-wife would probably get most of it. She's supposed to get half my income, but the judge hates me, so she always gets the bigger half. But if I got money, I'd pay off my credit cards, finish paying off my bike, and finally have some money in the bank for once. That'd be nice.
So he is basically broke. Okay. I mean, he's at least there. He knows what the priorities are. Of course, paying off the credit card bills, then his bike, and of course, well, majority of the money will probably go to hella money. Let's see. Have you ever cheated on anyone? Describe a typical day in your life.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I wake up, I eat, I go to work, I come home, I eat, I watch TV, and then I go to bed.
That's it. Solid. What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living?
I work at a distribution center where I drive a forklift. Pays pretty decent, and I get good overtime.
Alright. Wait, that's, yeah, that's all the questions. Okay, this guy. Let's see. What's the dumbest thing you ever did?
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
I think that's a good one,
Dumbest
right?
thing I ever did. How do I choose just one? Okay. I was camping outside a store waiting to buy a game console. So it was going to be released, and I wanted to get there early. I wanted to make sure that I got one.
Alright.
And I set up a tent. I was going to sleep outside the store. I was there for 28 hours in my tent. The night before the store opened, when they were going to sell the console, it was go time. I went to sleep in my tent, had my phone with me. I didn't have any way to charge my phone, and my alarm didn't go off in the morning because my phone ran out of juice.
No.
I woke up 3 hours after the store opened, and I did not get the console. I slept in a tent on a sidewalk. Got back problems from it.
Damn.
For what ended up being no reason whatsoever.
I feel his, yeah, I feel his pain. That is quite disappointing dumbass, yeah. But yeah, I've been doing those, well, a couple actually of those midnight releases as well. I've seen people with tents, but yeah, they were just pretty much for show. They were set up. Nobody was actually sleeping in them. People were just sitting in them and just because like hiding from wind and whatsoever. But yeah. Okay, let's see. What's your most embarrassing memory? Well, wouldn't that be one? What he just described? Or what's your biggest regret? It's just basically two answers, well, two questions with one answer. What's the worst way you betrayed a friend? Let's ask him that.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
You're right, Zakaria. He's a dumbass for that.
I try not to betray friends, but... Okay. I spoiled Avengers Infinity War for several of my friends and coworkers. So, opening night, I saw it twice. I got my tickets in advance for 2 showings right in a row, back to back. I was at the theater for like 6 hours just downloading Infinity War, and it was awesome. But I'm like, okay, Friday, maybe...
Dumbass version 2.0.
Over the weekend, I saw it 2 more
Right on,
times.
Zakaria.
I go into work Monday. I assume that everyone has seen it. It's a phenomenon. It's like the movie grossed like $2 billion. I don't know
$2
how
billion?
much
Really?
everyone saw it. I assume they all saw it opening weekend.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't seen it.
I started going on about the people we lost, the Avengers we lost, the snap. I really spoiled that movie for a lot of people. I had a lot of apologizing to do that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Before you're going to
And if
spoil
you're watching,
something like you just
let me
watched
just say
recently,
once again, I am so sorry.
that's alright.
I promise you, I am now keeping it spoiler free.
Well, here's the thing. If you saw something or played something very recently, then just ask people if they've seen it, are they aware of that, or certain events, like, and then they will tell you if they want to hear any spoilers of it or not, and that's that. But for example, let's say you're playing games for the first time that have been out for 10 years and somebody tells you like, yeah, this character dies now, then their excuse for that, because the game has been out for 10 years, you had no excuse not to play this game, so here's that. Let's see. We got 3 more questions to go. Describe a typical day in your life. Why not?
Describe a typical day in your life.
Well, usually my day is going to revolve around what I'm watching and what games I'm playing. So,
Look
work
at this shirt.
aside, when I have free time,
Yeah.
I'm going to be binging something. And just got done with The Last of Us, binged The Mandalorian, currently watching The Winchesters, and then I'm going to play video games. Gaming.
That's solid.
A lot of RPGs, and I am immersed in that world. I take gaming very seriously. Oh, and one more thing I take very seriously, snacking. I will always have some snacks on standby and some beverages, and I like playing with snack beverage combos. Yeah, that's pretty important.
I'd say it is. I mean, that's a very good combination. Snacking and video games. And I always say, do more of what makes you happy. To some people, video games aren't that important, it's just like a pastime. To others, it's just like a daily thing. Now, for me personally, I enjoy video games quite a lot, but, well, of course, I am unable to play video games like on a daily basis like I used to, but I'm trying to squeeze in some, well, video game time every now and then when I have some free time. And the prime example of this is actually like the third reason why my channel is called Liberty After Work is because, well, with my liberty I do whatever I want after work, and yeah, sometimes I just have obligations, and sometimes I just don't have the liberty to play video games or just do whatever I want. So here's that, and that's the reason why I haven't been able to play well, anything on stream for 2 weeks now. But yeah, that's beside the point. Let's go to the next question. What's your most unusual talent? What do you do for a living? Okay, that's an interesting one.
What do you do for a living?
I'm going to ask that you reserve judgment
Alright.
when I tell you that I am an auditor for the IRS.
Oh.
Now, I know a lot of people think that we are inherently evil, that we are monsters coming to take your money. No, okay? We are not evil. We're not going around trying to harass people. We don't want to screw over the little guy. And here's the thing. If you make an honest mistake on your taxes, we will send you a notice about it and ask you to settle the difference. Or if we find that you didn't include a form, a W-2 or something, send it to us. We're good. Now,
All right.
if you are some rich person who's intentionally trying to game the system for your personal gain, then that might be an issue. Those are the people that get audited. The big muckety-mucks who are who are just greedy. Then we will come after you.
That's solid. Respect for that. I mean, honestly, when he said don't be judgmental, I was kind of like expecting that he would work in something like a comic book store or something. But yeah, I guess I judged the book by the cover. If you could have any job, what would it be? What do you think it would be? Like, well, obviously he did say that he is very interested in games, movies, so it would be something like that, like a game tester? Let's see.
If you could have any job, what would it be?
If I could have any job, I'd like to be the continuity supervisor on any Star Trek TV show. There are so many mistakes that would have been so easy to fix if only someone caught them in time. I'd love to be that someone.
You'd love to be that someone? Let me tell you why there's mistakes. When you're working 17 to 22 hours a day, sometimes people mess up on continuity, all right? Relax. Just relax.
I just want to say I'm so sorry, because in the moment when I was thinking about my dream job, I literally forgot that you were on Star Trek, and you have boldly gone where no man has gone before. So, thank you for your service, and yeah, I am sorry for being so nitpicky.
Alright. Let's see what's next. Wait, that's all 5 questions, right? Yeah, so we got this lady. And yeah. Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? What do you mean?
No, not really. I don't believe in monogamy. I would never have a one-on-one relationship. I do mess around with multiple partners, but they all know that we're in an open relationship, so it's not cheating. They're all allowed to have multiple partners too, and most of them do.
Okay, I
Even
see how it
saying
is.
that they're allowed to have multiple partners sounds wrong to me. I just don't understand monogamy. How can you tell another person they aren't allowed to do things that make them happy? That just seems so controlling to me. I could never do that to someone, or let someone do that to me.
Okay, well that's a question wasted. What's the dumbest thing you ever did?
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
We heard they were going to cut down a huge area of forest, so about 20 of us went out there the night before to protest. We chained ourselves to trees so they'd have to delay their logging until they could get rid of us.
Oh, okay.
Only we were in the wrong place. They were logging about a half a mile away, so no one knew we were there for almost a week. By the time
Great.
someone found us, we were out of food and water, and we thought we were gonna die. The guy who found us went to ask the loggers for help, and they had to cut down the trees we were chained to in order to free us. All we
Great.
accomplished was getting an extra 20 trees cut down and almost dying in the process.
Well, imagine if nobody would have even found them. What do you do for a living? Alright, like I said, she's probably like some sort of a nature activist, right?
What do you do for a living?
I escaped the rat race a few years ago. I cut all my expenses drastically, so now I only need a few $100 a month to survive. I deliver food through those gig apps, but only 2 or 3 orders per day, just enough to get by. I find if I make more money than I need, I just end up buying stuff that clutters my life and makes me less happy.
So she's a minimalist, alright. If you could have any job, what would it be?
If you could have any job, what would it be?
I don't want any job. The most valuable thing I have is my free time, and I am not willing to sell that time for an hourly wage.
Okay, one more question. What advice would you give to your younger self?
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Drop out of school. A high school diploma is useless as an adult, and college is a waste of money. Just enjoy your childhood. You only get one.
Alright. Okay, here about the last two questions. So those are the ones that we already asked. I really like the trolley problem. What's your biggest fear? No, hold on. If you could have any job, what would it be?
If you could have any job, what would it be?
Supreme ruler of Earth.
That's
You
a
said any
job?
job. Who wouldn't want to rule Earth? If anybody says anything else, they're lying, and their lie detector should go off.
I mean, she's right about that.
Totalitarianism can be a very effective form of government with the right ruler. Look at Vlad the Impaler. Sure, he has his critics. Some have said his methods were too harsh. But look at his empire and how smoothly it was run. Hardly any crime. I could do that. I could be the next Vlad the Impaler.
Interesting. Alright, so... What's your proudest accomplishment? Yeah, let's go with this one.
What's your proudest accomplishment?
I once had these neighbors who liked to hang outside on their porch, all blaring terrible music. I thought I could take a bat to their stereo myself and end it, but they of course had cameras. So I took a picture of their stereo and posted it to Craigslist under the free stuff category.
Oh, somebody took
Got
it!
somebody else just to take the whole stereo away. As a bonus, they also took all of their patio furniture. They never hung around
Epic
inside
win.
after that.
Epic win
That's
right
the
there.
end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Brought to you by OneSock.com.
One sock.
Does it always... .com lets you buy one individual sock so you can finally even things out.
I love those fake
That's
ads.
OneSock.com. Use offer code TRUTH, and they'll include a second sock absolutely free. Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
So, who are we going to send home? It's gonna be Joe, Sam, Autumn, Claire, or Lilith. Who is it gonna be? I think honestly, I'm gonna vote for Claire. Alright, let's go for Claire. Just gonna vote her home. One thing that doesn't sit right with me, Autumn said that she is like a minimalist. She's like, so the thing is, she said that she likes to just get by and just make enough cash for the day because owning a lot of stuff like, just she's basically against possessive stuff that just keeps her like mind in check, which I get. But why is she on the show? Like to win the $1 million prize cash, right? Chances are that she's just gonna waste it by just donating it to like some sort of a charity or well, charity. It's like a what's it called? Like Nature Foundation or something. Well, the money is just gonna be wasted anyways because the people, not all of them are that dumb. Not all of them are just going to invest it into like a planting trees project or whatever. They're just gonna put like most of the cash in their own pockets, you know. So yeah, my question is, why is Autumn still here? But yeah, we're gonna vote out Claire.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Claire. Oh, I am so sorry, Claire.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks so much for having me. It's just been so exciting to be here, and I've never won anything, so I didn't expect to win today anyway, but I'm just glad I could take.
Let's begin round 3.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Alright, we got 4 candidates, and we got a lot of questions left. But we're gonna go ahead and do them next time, so yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this live stream of truth. So far we only got one person lying, and yeah, we'll maybe continue next time. I mean, that depends if you like those game shows. Personally, I do like it, but it's like a one time only, so yeah. Chances are that you're gonna do it one more time just to see who's gonna be the winner, and that's gonna be it. But yeah, anyways, I'm glad to be able to like find some free time to do another live stream, of course. And yeah, that'll be it for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed Truth video game show, and I'll see you next time. Tomorrow we're gonna do a huge episode, so yeah. See you tomorrow then, and yeah, take care.